Well, it's not often I fly budget airlines, but that's the case today with Eurowings. Let's see how it stacks up to others. Check-ins in Terminal 1, and we spent about 10 minutes waiting for a human. We could have done the self-check-in, but we had 3 bags and there was maybe an issue, so we sorted it out up there. And now it's off to security. Now today I haven't got just one flight with Eurowings, I have 2. The first is to Dusseldorf, which is Eurowings' home base, and the second is to London Heathrow, both a little over an hour. Now based on the fare that I booked, I probably didn't expect to get lounge access, but you do. You get it to the Vienna Lounge, and this has won awards. It's spacious, not stinking hot, good selection of food and drinks, and if you love cheese like I do, have a look at the Parmesan that's on offer. Oh, I nearly forgot, there's an outdoor terrace as well. Quite a queue to get on, 30 degrees, no airflow in here, but everybody's happy. Well, I'm safely ensconced in 1F on this Airbus A320. This is a 12-year-old aircraft, has 180 seats on board, but the first 5 rows are designed for business class on this flight, and I imagine they could alter that at their leisure. So the middle seat here, blocked out. This is my flying partner over here for this flight. Now they sure work their aircraft here. This is the 3rd flight of 7 that this aircraft will do today, going all over Europe. Now, thanks to Bitdefender for sponsoring this video. You lock your front door when you leave home, don't you? Perhaps you have security cameras, or even a dog to keep your property safe. But what about online? Cyber scams are a very real threat in the digital space, especially with today's advancements in technology and with us spending most of our time online. That's why I recommend Bitdefender's Premium Security. They help safeguard the data of millions of people and businesses globally, and have even undertaken in-depth research to understand just how cyber crooks run their operations. Bitdefender's Premium Security is a great all-in-one plan offering you complete security and advanced privacy. I'm talking about advanced threat defense, email protection, and unlimited VPN, just to name a few. And yes, it includes Scam Copilot too, which blends AI power and state-of-the-art technology to protect your devices from online threats. For a limited time, Bitdefender is offering a 90-day trial of their premium security package. All you have to do is click the link in the description. Pulled back from the gate at 3:15 and were in the air 8 minutes later. At 3:51, the crew were along with the cart offering food and drinks, and I opted for the pulled turkey sandwich on potato bread. It had a tangy barbecue sauce and that gave it some flavour, but mine looked nothing like the one on the front of their bistro menu. This one appears to have about 6 times as much turkey as the actual product. Taste? Midfield. The Coke was warm, but with a few ice cubes in my paper cup, it was fine. And I did notice this: packaged without plastic. I quizzed the crew, but none of them knew what that was about. It did feel plasticky to me. On the second flight, though, one of the crew said that no, that is biodegradable plastic, so that is A+. My son ordered the panini, of which I had a couple of mouthfuls, and it was much better than the turkey roll. Tasty, crunchy, but again, don't expect yours to look anything like the pic in the menu. After all, they've been sitting on top of each other in some container for some hours, I'm guessing, although it's fair to say mine had a fraction of the tomatoes than the menu one had. Now, because I booked Biz Plus, the drink and the sandwich was included. Now, if your seat doesn't include that, it'll cost you €8.50, about $10, and you won't be disappointed. It's worth noting that there is no in-seat power or entertainment system. We touched down into Dusseldorf at 4:37 p.m, that's about 13 minutes ahead of schedule, and then hightailed it to a hard stand for a bus to the terminal. And when deplaning, they use both the front and rear stairs. Now, given that Eurowings is a subsidiary of Lufthansa, you get to use the Lufthansa business class lounge. And it's great. It's spacious, not too hot, good selection of food, spirits, wines, obviously soft drinks, and it has a view out over the apron. I'm trying the meatballs, which are tasty, a little bit sweet in the sauce, and this soft potato hash brown, which is shocking. Safely on board the second flight, but I've got to tell you, it was a little bit hit or miss because we forgot we had to do immigration here. So we leave the lounge thinking it's going to be a 5-minute walk, but no, huge queue at immigration. So I was lucky in so much as I headed up to the front and said, look, we're going to be late for this flight. The gentleman up there was great. He said, okay, we'll come down here. So there's about 6 of us, I think, that ended up skipping that queue. So once again, we're on A320, but in row 2, which has not as much leg room, but as you can see here, this thing goes up and down, which means you can spread out a bit more, and I kind of like that. That doesn't happen in the front row. And on this flight, they've only got 4 rows as business class. This flight is about the same duration as the last one. However, the seats are so rock solid. There is hardly any padding in them. The other ones were much more comfortable, but this is a newer aircraft, I believe. And the recline on this seat is about half of the one before. This flight was on a 3-year-old A320. We were scheduled to depart at 6:25 p.m, but pushed back from the gate at 6:30 and were wheels up at 6:44. On this leg, I discovered their in-flight magazine. It's in German and English, and although mine was looking a little worse for wear, it was a quality read. If you flip the Wings menu over, you'll find an array of items for sale on board. I picked 3 to do a price comparison. This Lancôme fragrance, $71 US on board. But on the web, priced from $51, with the average being around $61. Rabanne Invictus, $88 on board. Remember, these are US dollar conversions. On the web, $59 to $74. And this Boss watch on board, $283, on the web, $274. So you are paying a slight premium for the convenience of being able to purchase on board. Does Eurowings have Wi-Fi? Yes, but only on about 10% of their aircraft. If yours has Wi-Fi, there'll be a Wi-Fi logo on the seat back. This aircraft didn't, but if it did, I could have paid anywhere from $5 US to $12 for access. The staff on this leg were even better than the first leg. They were engaged, they smiled, they looked sharp, and it was refreshing. I asked if alcohol was included in our ticket and was surprised to hear yes. 1 long drink is included. Food-wise, I tried the pretzel roll with cream cheese and Gouda. This is not their best meal, and once again, looks nothing like the menu example. One thing that did delight me though was the cabin baggage allowance. 1 small underseat bag and 2 large cabin bags. Now that is a very good deal. And coming into Heathrow, we had the Glamour route, flying around London City with this super view of the Thames. Well, that was a very good flight, if you discount the quite hard seats. A marked difference between the seats of that plane and the first one. But really good service. Okay food. No, it was nothing like what you get on a full-service airline, I guess. And thankfully, we had an air bridge coming into Heathrow, although a very long taxi. Now, I have no idea how long our walk is to get out of here. I'm going to grab a car and head to the Cotswolds. We've arrived here at terminal number 2, and it's glorious. I don't think I've been here before. This is the Queen's Terminal. Getting through immigration is fantastic. If you're Australian, US, Canadian, and a few other nationalities, you use the E-gates, and it was a minute to get through, which was great. Now, pick up luggage, hopefully on this belt, and then head off in a car. Now, to pick up our rental car, we have to come to bus stops 7 and 8 and wait for the Avis bus. I paid the equivalent of $263 US for those 2 flights, business class. That was the only airline that had a flight leaving in the afternoon. Everything else was early morning or early evening, and the direct flights were about double that price. And my honest thoughts were great. I'd book them again any day. I flew them a while back and I remember being impressed then. So Eurowings, you get from me 2 thumbs up. Now, before I go, could you please hit the like button and the subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and for a whole lot of extra content and merchandise at thekimellman.com, this is where you need to look. In closing, thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
I paid about 220.